Welcome to this look at some epic new mods on Farming Simulator 22 with me, MrSealyp. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Thursday the 22nd of August. We've got some new mods. We've got an update. The Reaper 2000 Harvester by MacTrucker921 has been updated. We have got, well, I suppose technically 3 packs. One of them, the first one we're going to look at now, the Legacy Premium Cutter Pack. I think it's up there, one of the highest megabyte downloads of a pack. I'm trying to think of one that's more. There probably are others. This is by Hispano, 358.22 megabytes download. It's a pack of headers and header trailers. They all need to kind of interlink. I'll go into the details as we go. It makes a little bit more sense. These are really nicely made, really nicely detailed. A load of different options on them. What I like, what you'll see as we go into the options, you do have the option for it's their own wheels built in, so a trailed configuration or a trailer version. The trailer comes with a fuel tank as well for refueling on the go, which I think is brilliant. And this goes up to a 60-foot header, 18.3 meters I think it works. This one here, it's massive, absolutely massive, but yeah, quite intricate. I'm hoping my PlayStation doesn't fall over. Let's have a look, shall we? So under headers, now these aren't corn headers, these are just regular headers. These go from 18 slots to 22 slots, depending on what one you go for. The options are, I think, the same on all of them. And there's a couple of strange things we'll see as we go. Again, we'll see as we go. But we've got a 25 foot, 30 foot, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55 and 60 foot. Let's just pick one slap bang in the middle. Let's go with 40. And click on that. 12.2 meters, 21 slots. So we have the option, and it says wheel brand. There you go. So it's changing those. That's fine. That's for the actual wheels that are on it already. But if we go for a smaller one that doesn't have one, let's go for the 25 foot, and it says wheel brand. There's nothing. And I was clicking thinking, I don't understand this. It says wheel brand and setup. So we've got Continental, Michelin, Mitas, Nokian, back to Continental. Standard, Standard 2. And then, like the others, nothing, no options within those, but we had them. Then you've got stickers manufacturer, you've got Legacy Premium on the side, you've got Case, Class, Fendt, John Deere, Massey Ferguson, New Holland, back to Legacy Premium. So you can pick a brand if you want to. Now these will need to match, no, the stickers don't need to, but the headers will need to. So you can mix and match to how you want to do your headers. Let me just reset, calm. Right. Then you've got a top auger option, yes or no. So you've got the Draper belt, then you can have a top auger as well, yes or no. That has a bit more money on. Then you've got rear beacon, and this is only with transport wheels. I was like, what? Again, what does that even mean? So you can have orange or white. So let's go with white. Then you've got lateral guides. At the moment they're on yes or no, so you can take those guides off at the front if you want to. Helps you to be able to look down and see where the ends of your headers are, that kind of thing. Then you've got combine harvester coupler. Now, this is where the important bit of information comes, because it does say that you need to match them up with the harvesters. So whilst you can pick any type and any header, they do need to link up. So when we've got here, it says New Holland 770, you've got the John Deere T560, the 7150, and this does a lot of the base game ones. Custom couplers for the following combines from the base set. Now I'm not saying they won't hook up to other harvesters, I think they probably will do. And there are a lot of harvesters to choose from, modded, and you know, but I think obviously to make it look right and sit right as far as the base game ones go, so you pick and choose the one you want to go for. Whatever harvester it's going to hook up to. Obviously the smaller ones you're going to be more likely to go for something like the 770 or the T560, for example. Then transport wheel option. So if you go with yes, then all of a sudden we see why we had those tyre options at the start. That's for your transport wheels. So yes or no, then we've got a main colour, and then this is where you can mix and match your heart's content or match them up to colour schemes for existing manufacturers. So if you just want to go for a legacy header, you might be using the Colossus Harvester Pack, for example, and you might not want to go for a Massey Ferguson or a John Deere. You might just want to go for your own custom colour. It gives you the option to pick and choose what you want to go for as far as your custom colours go. That does the first one, your main colour. Design colour on the side, let's go with orange or metallic orange, like that. So that does all of that. And then we've got stickers colour on the back. It says Legacy 25. We can change that from white to black. Again, depending on what colour you've gone for, if you want to stand out. Then rim options, load anything on here. There's all the metallics up the top here, stainless steels and things like that, so you can pick your tyre options too. So if we go from there and go to, we've jumped to 40, let's go to the 50 foot. So the large ones start with wheels, and that's the guide wheels for when they're actually harvesting, because they're longer headers and they tend to droop, so they sit on those wheels on the end. But we have got Continental, Michelin, Mitas, Nokian, back again. We can change the tread on those, and the same options all the way through. Auger, transport wheels, lateral guides, the coupler for whatever harvest you're going for, and then even on the bigger harvesters or headers, you've got the option for transport wheels. Initial position, so slightly different, see there on the end. So depending on where you want your initial point to be, you can change the setting for that front set of wheels. Hang on, is that the front or the rear? That might be the rear set. I'm trying to look at which way around this extends. That could be the other one. Regardless, that set of wheels can move. And then we've got the same options: main colour, design colour, sticker colour, rim colour. And that's the same for all of them. We go up to the 60 foot, go for all the different options. We get down here again, we've got the option for transport wheels again. We can change those again, main colour, everything all remains the same. So that's all the headers in the various different sizes. Then we come down to our header trailers, and the header trailers match up with the headers. So again, you want to pick the one that goes with the one you've got. So we start here. These were, I think these were all 7s. I'm pretty sure they were all, oh no, 7s and 8s. I mean, within one slot, that's fine. So the options on these, the smaller ones, again, we've got the option for our wheel brands. So Continental, Michelin, Mitas, Nokian, back again. Sticker manufacturer, yes or no, you can put it on the side. So if you want to match it up with your manufacturer of your choice, you can. Electrical connector on the front, yes or no. Take that on or off if you don't want one. Then you've got beacon type, and the beacon's just above or just in front of your set back plate, right at the bottom of the screen. You've got beacon 1, beacon 2, then you've got 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, 5, back again to 1. Fuel tank, so the large fuel tank looks like that, 1300 litres, yes or no. That's only on, I think, the smaller header trailers. Then we've got the same thing with our main colour. Let's go with that, for example. Rim colour, let's assume we're going John Deere, along those lines. So that's on the smaller ones. If we go up to a larger one, I think it only gives you the option for a smaller fuel tank. Yeah, so the fuel tank's only 800 litres on the larger headers, which is interesting because you have a larger harvester for a larger header, which would probably use more fuel actually. But yeah, it's only smaller head. Which one does it change at? Let me just double check that. 900 litre on that. $800. So it might only be, let's have a check on the 30 foot. Yeah, so 30 foot to 35 foot is where it switches from the larger fuel tank to the smaller fuel tank. There we go. So this is the one with it built in. So we hook up. Now what you need to do, so for your transport, if you're doing it like this, it just transports out like any other, which is really cool. You've got your wheels in the back there, take out to the field. You don't want to be taking those wheels down. I mean, the level of detail on these, it's incredible. And look at it, you can see why the pack is the slot count it is. So the megabyte download. Intricate is not the word. Wow, anyway. So we'll disconnect. Swing ourselves around. And hook up. Once you're hooked up, then you can fold up. And we've had header trailers like this before, but the fact you can do it on the entire range, have it one or the other, I think is brilliant. Normally packs come, you've got one or the other. The fact you can do both within the same headers. Fold the transport wheels. They get put out of the way and we are good to go. We've got a real adjustment up and down. I love that movement on that. Forwards and backwards as well. Very neat, very tidy. Belts, augers, cutter bar, everything doing what it should be. That's already been harvested. I didn't come far enough along. There we go. It's over there. But anyway, that's that one. I'll leave that on there for the moment. Let's lower it. Right. Then we'll go over to the large header, which is on a header trailer. Now this has to be loaded on from the left hand side, it says in the description. It will automatically seat once you've done it. It's a little bit of a delay because it winds down the support wheel. This is an absolute monster. What you want to be doing, it's got the line right in the middle, which makes it nice and easy on the headers, on the header trailers. So you've got your ends either end, and if you've got the fuel tank on there and you've got that rear sort of flap bit there, you've got this nice bit in the middle which separates. That's what you're aiming for, to get the middle of your header onto the middle of that, and you're absolutely fine. Look at the length of it. Crikey. As near as as near as you need to. Then once you unload it, it will automatically seat. Now that's something actually I didn't see. Does it give me the option to bring? I don't think it does. That rear sign that says oversize, I don't know if we can bring that up or not. So let's just double check that. Oh, there you go, it does it automatically. Brilliant stuff. So once you've attached, and if you've gone for the beacon, whichever beacon you've gone for, so it will stay up like that, and then once you detach, it will lower itself back down. I did wonder. There we go. Just wanted to make sure. It's quite a pack, isn't it? Same thing, we have got adjustment on the reel. Up and down, forwards and backwards, so you can go for a bit more immersion on your reel wherever you're harvesting if you want. Let's plant some more crops on my test map. Wow. And there you go. Very cool indeed. The Legacy Premium Cutter Pack by Hispano. Next, we've got these. This is the John Deere 8R 2009 to 2011 series by JHHG Modding. 64.56 megabytes download. They're 51 slots each on console. I'm definitely not going for all the wheel options on these. There are 64 different wheel options. Like I say, I'm not going to go through all of them. Now there is a US and an EU version. This is the US version, and that's the EU version. And there are some slight differences. One thing I thought the EU would have would be the red and white sort of squares you normally have on the back, the warning squares. It's got the speed thing on there, but it didn't give me an option for those. But as you can see, we do have a tracked option within these as well under Lizard. I think this is 36-inch row crops I went for on this. There are some subtle differences. I've gone with GPS on the top of that one. We've gone for double lights on that, just a single light on that. Front 3-point, that one we've gone for weights. There is a rock box option. You've got a 4-light option across the front or a 5-light option. Again, we'll look at all these in the options. You notice the EU one's got a double light there. That one hasn't. Subtle tweaks and differences. And same with the engine as well. We go into the cab. Actually, we go into the cab and look down to the side. So there are going to be some changes within the transmissions, which will give you a few different options and different looks inside the cab. In essence, if you've got your driving on automatic and not manual, it won't make a huge amount of difference to you. There's a little bit of difference in sound, I think, with the transmissions as well. But very cool. So again, a lot of options today. So I'm hoping we don't have any issues with it spinning like it often does. So 177,000 for the base version of the US one, and 185,000 for the base version of the EU one. Slot counts come down to 3 on both of them. Horsepower is the same on both of them. Some of the options I think are pretty much the same. There are more tyre options on the EU one than the US one, interestingly. So the same on both. We've got the front mount. So you've got front hydraulic, rock box, weight bracket. You've got 300 kilo, 500, 700, 1100, back off again. That's on both. Then the same with the engine options. So we've got the auto power, we've got the power shift, and we've got the IVT transmission, and all of the horsepower. So we start off on 225 horsepower, then we go to 245, then we go to 270, 295, 320, 345, and then back to 225. Now, I don't know if you can see through because the window's a little bit tinted. But as we change those, it changes a few little bits just inside the cab, depending on the horsepower and what option you go for, which would be realistic to the real world versions. So in our wheel brands, we've got Lizard, Continental, Michelin, back again. So only those 3 on the US version: Lizard, Continental, Michelin, back again. Like I said, I'm not going to go through all the options. There are row crops, there are tracked options, LSWs, with weights, without weights, and on the Lizard ones. And then the Michelin and your Continentals are more the sort of tyre choices you would expect. Like I say, I'm not reading them all out, but weights and various different configurations. Then you've got fenders. You've got front fenders, rear fenders, both sets of fenders, or none at all. You've got trumpets on the top, left horn, right horn, both horns, or off. We've got blinkers with decals. So you can have those on or off. Then you've got John Deere leather seat inside, or you've got an active seat. We've then got 4 light section on the front, or the 5 light, like so. We've then got hood add-ons, so you can have the John Deere on the front, yes or no. We've then got attachers on the back. We've got a standard attacher, or you can have the quick hitch with triangle and back off again. GPS, and we run through some GPS options. We've got the Starfire 3000 support bracket. You've then got the 3000 and the second version of the 3000, then onto the 6000, and then no GPS. Beacon lights, left, right, both off. Then we've got mirrors, the 2009 version or the 2011 version. I think I went for one of each. So that's the then we've got license plate. That's the US option. Then we go to the EU one. Like I say, it still has the stalks, which surprised me. I didn't think it would have. Same options on our front mount, same options on our engine power. But wheel brands, we've got Trelleborg, BKT, Mitas, Continental, Friedrichstein, Michelin, Lizards, back to Trelleborg. So quite a few more options. And again, I'm not going through all of them, but have a look through. There'll be something for everyone, trust me. There's some big old chunky options, there's some LSWs, tracks, all that kind of thing on there. Same with the fenders, same with the trumpets, same with the, now this one, blinkers with decals, flasher extension, or no, sorry, flash, it is a flasher extension, yeah, blinkers with decal, no, so there's nothing for that other option. Same with the seat. Same now, the light configuration. Let's see, this one, the EU one's got the 2 other lights below. So we've got the 4 and 5 on the front. Hood add-ons, GPS, beacon lights, everything the same other than that. So we have got the option L1 and right stick up and down, raises and lowers. Now I had a very strange thing. When I came out from when it first spawned, it was down like that, and when I drove forward, it caught on the ground. Let's not do it now, and it wouldn't move. It was just stuck. Like there was an invisible barrier somewhere. I couldn't get it to go. If you have the same problem when you first get it, if you try to drive forward and it's not moving for some reason, all you need to do is just raise that up, drive for a little bit, and then put it back down. And it seemed to be fine after that. But that's your raising and lowering of the front section like that. Then R1 and right stick up and down does the bonnet. So if you want to raise the bonnet up and have a look underneath the hood, do a bit of maintenance, you can. Then L1, R1, right stick side to side, does the rear window, like that. Right stick up and down, does the door, like that. Horn. Lights. You can see they're slightly yellowed because it's an older vehicle. Beacons, if you've gone for them. I think I went with the IVT on this one. It does sound good. There's no option, because I did wonder if you went for the 2011 mirrors where you had an option for adjusting. There's no adjustment option, not on console anyway, for the mirrors. There we go. So let's try the EU. I can't remember what transmission I went for. Might have been the power shift. Oh no, auto power, there you go, it says bottom right. Same options for doors, windows, raise and lower at the front. Bonnet as well. I like the interior light, that's a nice feature as well. I'd always like that on tractors when you get that as an option. I know we have the 8Xs and stuff, but having the R version with tracks, it's certainly an interesting look. It's a little bit different. I think the X's have a much wider wheel track, if that makes sense. There we go. Nicely made, nicely detailed. A lot of options. The John Deere 8R 2009 to 2011 series by JHHG Modding, which brings me on to the last of the mods for today. Oh, it's a doozy. I've been waiting for this for a while. Blacksheep Modding put some pictures up on their pages. They do with their mods a lot on Discord and stuff. And when I saw this in production, work in progress, I was like, oh, I can't wait. In the UK, we have Moffats. So this is basically a forklift that attaches to the lorry. It's so good. It's so good. Yeah, we have a Moffat. I think we probably have Palfingers in the UK, but I think Palfinger is more of a German one. But that being said, you probably get them all over. So this is the Palfinger FLC 253 pack by Blacksheep Modding. 27.21 megabytes download. It's 7 slots for the forklift. Then we've got 3 trailers. We've got the Profiliner, this one here, which is 13 slots, curtain sider with a few different options on that. We've then got the Profiliner multi-steel, which is this one just here. You can have it sides or not sides, that's up to you. And then we've got the Force Line. That one is 8 slots, and then this one is 7 slots. So 13, 8, 7. Not a huge amount on them, to be fair. And I mix and match, well, I matched, should I say, not even mix and match. I matched my lorries and my Palfingers to go together. But it's not just that as well. It's the way this thing operates and moves and the adjustment, and it's so good. Right. And the forklifts. It's not too expensive either. It's 37 grand. I mean, you can just use it as a forklift if you want. You know, it's got a nice wide wheelbase, nice and stable, and it's got some cool features, which you'll see. So slot count comes down from 7 to 1. Options on this, we can have beacons, yes or no. Or sorry, not yes or no. Design 1, design 2, both. And then we've got main colour, anything on that palette. So, like I say, however you want to go about it, it's entirely up to you. You might have a favourite colour. Rim colour, anything on that palette. And then license plate option on there. Then we come out of there and we go down to our tools and miscellaneous. So our Profiliner 29,500, the multi-steel 24,500, and the Force Line 35. So we go for the Profiliner first of all. We've got the Palfinger, we've got Krona, and then we've got the Giants. Standard, so if you don't want any of those, you can just pick whatever you want. So if you go for standard, we've got our main colour option. That's a bit boring, isn't it? So I suppose, whatever. Chassis colour underneath. Design colour does the end sections and the side impact protection on there. Then you've got your rim colour on there as well. If I go up for one of the other options on the top like that, you've still got the option for your chassis, design colour and rim colour. You just don't have the option to change the main sides, but you can change, like I say, the design colour to whatever you want on there, like that. Then we come to the multi-steel, so you've got design 1, design 2. That doesn't have a capacity, that's just sides on it, and it has tension straps regardless. I'll leave it on that for the moment because I'll show the options for it. So main colour does all of that, like so. Chassis colour, again, same as the other one. Design colour will do your side impacts, and all those stanchion bits on the sides like that, and then rim colour option and license plate. If I go to design, hang on, design 2, there you go. It takes some of those options away, so you've still got chassis and design and rim colour. You just don't have the side options on there like that. And then the Load King Force line, we've just got main colour and rim colour, like so, like that. So it doesn't really matter which one should we have a look at. Well, let's have a look at this first. So here's our operation. It moves really well. I mean, on a dime. Look at that. It's very cool. So for getting in and out of tight spaces, pretty cool indeed. We've got our lights, and then these side ones, look, that becomes more relevant in a moment. Beacons. Now we've got transport mode, so if we do that, that puts it in the mode to put it on the back of whichever lorry. Now it's got to be one of these lorries, but these won't attach to any lorry. It has to be part of this pack. Puts it at the right height pretty much. If you just come up to the back of that, then what will happen is when you get into your lorry, it will give me the option, it should give me the option to attach, and puts it up in position, straps it all down, good to go. When you get to where you want to go, as long as you've got it selected, detach it, it drops off the back, all good. Left the engine running. So then we can take it from work mode and we can put it into transport mode like that. So there's our work mode, raise and lower. What I like as well, it's got these supports. Now these supports enable you, depending on how wide your load is, that when you're transporting stuff around the yard, you don't have to have it all resting on the forks. You drop it down and it rests on these supports. That's a brilliant idea. That's very clever for the design of it. So what I'm going to do, let's turn that off and let's get the one off the back of here. So we want to detach that. There we go. Now that curtain sider, we have got the option to do that and that. We can also widen our forks, and then we've got that option. We've got up and down, tilt, all very nice. Nice height on it as well, very cool. And we've got our tilt. But then what this also has for loading and unloading, honestly, oh dear, right. I was going to say, yeah, the curtain side, you can do the side curtain and you can do the rear door. When you get to your lorry, and normally you have that thing, and I found it a few times, what I often do is I'll just put the pallet down and then I'll just use the forks to push the pallet forward. You don't need to with this. But what's cool about this, look how high it's at the moment. Once I push these forward like that, it starts to tilt the whole thing. It lowers it and tilts it backwards to allow for the fact this is extended right out. And this will extend, I mean, right out. Let's drop those forks down. Look. All the way out. I mean, look at that. So I can get right under that pallet. Raise it, and it seems pretty good with regard to the weight it will take. Then bring it all the way back in. So it kind of counterbalances itself. I didn't really put that on there particularly well. So what we'll do, I'll show you that. Let's bring that forward. Now you have to be careful. Notice that lowering now? You've got raised right up and then lowers it down. If I put those on the floor again. If you're going to put something down on the floor, you have to make sure you clear those support bars. Otherwise your forks will just drop away from it. So let's get a little bit closer in. There we go, that's better. Let's do that. Raise it up. Bring it back. So we're right in close. If I tilt that now and bring those forks down, my forks aren't even on it. They're sitting on those supports. Or it is sitting on those supports for transportation, which is great. But what is also very great, let's imagine you're stacking stuff up and you do what I do quite often. I mean, it could be on the side of a lorry, it could be putting stacks down, it could be something like that, and you arrive like that and go, oh, I've done it again, I'm not in the right position, what a buffoon. So what you can do is you can change your steering mode. Now it says you want to be stationary for this, so stop where you are, then do L3 and it does that. So now I go accelerate or reverse, and it will take me side to side. So when you get to a position and you go to load a stack and realise actually you're not quite lined up, you can change your driving direction till you're lined up perfectly where you want to be, then toggle it back again, and then I can carry on with my unload. Like it never happened, like I wasn't an idiot that didn't line up properly. I know, very rare. Now another thing you have to be careful of when you are unloading, especially if you've gone to full extent, because it does tilt the whole thing backwards. When you come to take the forks out, if you bring them back like that, it will adjust the angle of the forks, so you just have to be careful you don't catch the pallet as you'll bring it back out again. And look how versatile that is. And even like big old things like that, I mean, you can pick up anything, small pallets, big pallets, whatever. I just wanted to use the wider things like these to show it sitting on those supports, but again I want to come forward for that. I want to go up a little bit. There we go. And it takes the weight of these, no problem at all. Now I can rest it on there if I want to, it's up to me. It is brilliant. I love it. It's not the fastest thing in the world, but it doesn't need to be. But again, the fact you can take it with you, it makes life so much easier. You haven't got to rely on arriving somewhere and then having to unload with something else and going to get another vehicle, or hoping that where you've taken it to there's going to be someone already there that can do it for you and that kind of thing. So I personally, what I would do at this point is I would reverse out and then bring my forks back in. Like I said, because it will adjust the height and movement of your forklift. Reverse out, then adjust it, then away you go. And then when you're done, you just put it back into its transport mode, drive back to the back of your lorry, and away you go. What I will do before I finish, I will show you the curtain sider. Let's say they've all got tension straps that can be done in cab or out of cab, it's up to you. I think that's all of it. Engine off. I actually remembered that time. Jump in, start the engine up, attach it, we're good. So, now that's got to be careful on that, because I can actually adjust that on there. Make sure you're on the trailer. So, close curtain side. It only does the left hand side, I think. I'll double check that. I want to show you something on the other one as well. Let me just check that. Oh no, hang on. So curtain side left front, curtain side left back, right front, right back. Now I don't know if it's got to be on the back, because the other one's really weird. This doesn't make sense. Let's go with right back and see if it changes it. So I can open the other side. There we go. So you can do the other side as well. Just have to make sure you switch your unload side. Now I don't want to open my back doors at the moment because I've got that on there. So I want to take that off before I open the back doors, because that's going to clout into those if I open the back doors. So what I was going to say was, with this one here, I'm on right front. So tip side right front. And if I go open side panels, it does the left hand side. Okay. Puts all the stanchions down, good to go. So if I... Okay, doing all of them. That's weird, when I did it before, it did ones, maybe it does, okay. Close the side panels. How bizarre. So it started on the left hand side. If I change my work mode to left front and do it, will it only do one side and not the other maybe? So it starts on the left again. Only does the left, right? Okay, so close the side panel back up again. Now switch it one more time, we'll go to left back. It goes to the right hand side. It's weird, left back and it goes to the right hand side. Will it do both sides? No, just that one. And the final one should be Start right front, left back, right front. Bizarre. But anyway, it will do various different options for opening and closing the sides and that kind of stuff. There we go. Very cool indeed. Another cool mod from Blacksheep Modding. That's the Palfinger FLC 253 pack by Blacksheep Modding. We do have a new map out, but I won't be able to get onto that till tomorrow now. It's Oberschwaben by Yogi. So that'll be first thing tomorrow morning. I'll do that. But that's the mods for Thursday the 22nd of August. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.